Guys, I've never been on anything like this in my entire life. There is so much snow, and it is so fun. It's so awesome. I'm giving you the exact breakdown of a solo or a crew trip to Niseko. Every tip from the moment you land until the moment you leave. No fluff, just what worked for me. If you're new here, my name is Paul, and I'm on a mission to save me. I'm doing that through this channel. I post about beginner yoga fundamentals, behavior change, and world travel. So welcome, and I hope that you'll consider joining me on this journey. Without further ado, let's dive into this. Start with your lodging. Everything falls into place once this is locked. My stay was in 9 nights in a shared room with 2 bunk beds in a ski village during peak season in the powder capital of the world. A pro tip, book it early. For most places, August is when the early bird rates disappear. So I've dropped a link in the description for the place that I stayed, along with their 2027 season info. The early bird reservations open up April 7th. No coincidence, that's when I'm dropping this video. So for flights, as of March 2026, US citizens do not need a visa to enter Japan. They've started to be sticklers about this. Make sure that you have 6 months left on your passport by the time you exit, not when you arrive. You should try to book your flight out 4 to 6 months in advance and on a Tuesday. And then also you can get a refundable or a changeable ticket. Things might come up, life happens, but getting the refundable or a changeable ticket might help you out. So your priority order, lodging, flight, do both, then the rest are small details. So part 2 is landing and getting to Niseko. So data first. Before you even board your last flight, so the flight before you get into Japan, make sure you have your eSIM downloaded, and I use Airalo. Get a 10 gigabyte for 7 or 15 days, depending on the length of your stay. Activate it before takeoff. So when you land in Japan and you power up your phone, it'll connect in 5 to 10 minutes. I had 0 issues this entire trip. Next, we gotta get to the village. You got 3 options. 1, private car. It's expensive, I don't think it's worth it. Train, it's the cheapest for sure, but you're looking at managing kiosks. You got different transfers. The one that I chose is getting a bus directly from the airport right to the Hilton Niseko village. The bus is around $40 US and handles everything. Give them your flight, give them your lodging. They'll sort it out for you through their website. Book it in advance. These things sell out pretty quickly. I've also put the link for that in the description. Stick around for the end because you'll want to hear my tips on what you do on the bus ride. It will set you up for the entire week. So now that you're in Niseko, let's talk about what you do when you get there. If you can grab your rental and your lift ticket, do that. Also, if you can get groceries, do it. The guys who handle the logistics the night before are the ones who are the first on the mountain in the morning. If you arrive late, the mission is simple. Just get ready for tomorrow. Know what you're wearing. Get some food in you, shower, and get to sleep. So next is we're gonna talk about my stay and the food. As I talked about earlier, the free ride lodge in Niseko. So what do you get? A dedicated room to put your board or your skis in. Inside of that is a dry room for your boots and your gear. Continental breakfast, coffee, juice, cereal, toast. And for those on the ultimate budget, this comes in very handy. But here's one thing that I love. You have a full kitchen where you can actually cook real food. I'm just going to give you my go-to meals. Like every other day of my life, I start the morning with about 1 liter of water and 10 grams of creatine. I'm loading up on carbs with oatmeal, granola, peanut butter, and bananas. I would top that off with a little bit of milk just so that it wasn't so dry. When I would come back for lunch, I was making udon and ramen noodles.
Frying up some pork here. I got some ramen about to boil there. And then I got green beans in the microwave. Dude, this takes 3 minutes. Probably more like 6 or 7, but that's it. I like to get some grapes. Here you go. Instant energy, and then make yourself the food. This costs like nothing, man, and you can have it ready for you in 10 minutes as soon as you get back from skiing. So highly recommend.
Protein, veggies, fiber, carbs, sodium, everything that you need when you get done, man. And look, the recovery matters when you're going hard on the mountain, because if you're doing something like 7 consecutive days, you're gonna want to make sure that your muscles are recovering so that you can get the most out of them every day. Sometimes you just don't feel like cooking at all. I get that. You don't want to do the grocery shopping. It's not that expensive to get meals at the actual resorts. They do have really good food. Japan in general has really high food quality. And then also, of course, course, is the convenience. There's a bus stop directly outside that will take you to any of the mountains for free by using your lift pass. So one thing that's important about these lodges is that they have their own shuttles. They'll pick you up from the bus station when you get dropped off from the airport. They'll take you to the bus station when you have to leave for the airport. They'll take you to the grocery store. Some will drop you off at the mountain. And one other thing about the lodge where I stayed, the staff likes to party. Take that for what it's worth. It wasn't like they were loud and keeping people up. But if you're somebody who is trying to not party, but you also like partying, it might not be the best environment for you when they're like, hey, tonight we got this, and beers, and poker, and darts, and blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about your gear and your lift pass. Now, both of these things are handled at the base of Niseko Village. I took the 821 bus to the Hilton, and then I just walked up to this place called Village Sports. You check in at this kiosk. If you've already prepaid for your stuff, then use that email. They'll ask about your ability level and what you're looking for. Make sure that you strap into the board before you leave the shop. They flipped my bindings around. Double check their work, make sure everything feels comfortable. And then it's also worth noting, at this place, you can come back and change out your board, your bindings, your boots, whatever, whenever you want to, as many times as you want to. So my full setup was a Burton powder board, step-in boots and bindings, and a helmet. I got it for 7 consecutive days, $300 total. You can skip the pre-ordering online as well, just show up. And if you stay at the Free Ride Lodge, you can get a 20% discount card. Now, when it comes to your lift pass, this you can pre-purchase online. They do have an early bird discount, and it's so simple. You just go up to this kiosk, you pull up the email, it has a QR code, you scan it, and then it just prints out your lift pass. And I was in and out of the board shop and getting the lift pass in an hour. Another tip that I got from somebody there, if you get in early, you should pick up your lift pass, but don't use it to ride the public transportation, because if you do that, then it activates a full day.
Black diamonds all day, baby, let's go.
All right, the best part, let's talk about getting on the mountain. The gondola opens at 9 a.m. and people are lining up around 8:15, 8:30. I was arriving around 8:30. The line moves fast. In this video here, the line looks pretty long. It took 15 minutes. All right, now I'm a beginner who can make his way down a black diamond under the right conditions. The thing about the snowboarding in the powder capital of the world is that falling doesn't hurt, but it does take a lot of the energy to dig yourself out when you fall. So also, if you're not going fast enough, you can easily get stuck. And then you're just spending a lot of time generating body heat and wasting energy. For example, Gate 11 in Niseko Village is a run for the intermediate and above riders. I did it 3 times, and it was definitely a learning experience. But the amount of time that I spent digging myself out, I could have spent my energy on runs that were more suited to my ability. Don't waste your first run by getting your warm-up in. Your body will adapt and warm up the first minute you start riding. I'm pretty sure when it comes to my footage, the first run was the best clips from every single day that I went out there. Go into the first run with the mindset of this is going to be my best run, and then wash, rinse, repeat. Another tip, if you find a run that you love at the beginning of the day, don't spend time looking for what the rest of the mountain has to offer. If it challenges you in the right ways and it's fun, don't look for something better. Make the most of what you have the moment you have it. This is another point. So one of the best things about staying with a bunch of other riders is that you get the intel. The guy who is on the mountain 3 days before you knows where the best snow is right now.
Guys, I just can't see. I want to hit these hills a little harder, but I think I got to get my goggles right.
I lost hours on the mountain because of my gear issues. Hours. So hear me out. First and most importantly, goggles. Gotta get a quality pair, anti-fog treated, never touch the inside of the lens, ever. If you sweat heavily, I would look into battery operated fan goggles. But you have to remember, the sweat coming out of your head, fogging up your goggles, is directly related to your core temperature. Layers equals heat mixed with the very cold and windiness of the outside. It just ends up a disastrous recipe for the fog. If you can't see, man, the whole experience is just shit. When they do fog up, because they will, you're gonna take some falls, you're gonna sweat, all that stuff. Just take them into the lodge and then put them near a heater. Take 20 minutes to cool off, get you some water, get back out on the slope again. When it comes to the layers, I think that you want to feel on the verge of cold the whole time. Regulate your body temperature and your goggles will thank you. All right, so as my behavioral change journey is teaching me, you can't control everything that happens, but you can control how you react to it. I'm gonna talk about weather conditions. And I think the best way to show you that is to show you what happens on this map here. What's gonna happen first is the pizza box lifts are going to be closed when these bad weather conditions happen. And that's up here. And this is important for a couple reasons. One, of course, you have the highest peaks, so you have the longest run. These are also pretty challenging for those who want a good ride. But then also, if you want to connect over to the other mountains and not take the long bus rides down here, you can traverse over by just walking, which is really great when the weather's nice. Secondly, what happens when the wind comes in, it comes from the west side. So the first gondola to close is Annapurna. And this is going to be your tell that you need to get to Hanazono, because this is blocked by the wind to an extent. If Annapurna is closed, then that means Niseko is probably pretty windy and not ideal. The outdoor lifts are gonna be super cold when you're up there. There's gonna be poor visibility. So when this happened to me, everybody and their mother was going over to Hanazono, but nobody could traverse over there from the top. So everybody is using the bus or they're driving there. What took me 40 minutes the first time I went there to go night skiing turned into 3.5 hour ride. I literally spent more time on that bus than I did on the actual mountain that day. Nobody on that bus liked what was happening. What do you do when this happens? You gotta know what the weather conditions are the night before. You can confirm that in the morning, but what I would suggest that you do is arrange for a ride between 7 and 7:15 a.m. You're gonna end up at the resort way early, but you're gonna be the first one on the mountain, not stuck in traffic, so way worth it. Another big tip here, you might not wanna pay for consecutive days at Niseko United. And I say that because of this next big tip. You can go to another mountain that is less affected by these early peak season winds. That is what I did. And it turns out Rusutsu is an amazing resort in itself. Not only that, it's only a 30-minute bus ride. So if you can get your ride to the bus station in Niseko in the morning and then hop on this bus, I think it's like less than 1,000 yen, super cheap, and you could be there by 8 o'clock, an hour before they start. There's also another bus that comes at 10 a.m. So if you want to sleep in a little bit, get there a little after the gondolas open, then fine.
It is by far the best conditions I've ever snowboarded in. There is a mountain of snow.
None.
There's a mountain
Compared
of snow.
to Niseko, better visibility, better snow,
No wind.
less track, no wind.
Yeah.
This is pure fucking powder.
Rusutsu is top notch. I can't believe that we got this lucky. That the conditions are bad there and just a 30-minute ride away, you're here.
If you're coming to Niseko Japan and you're not coming to Rusutsu, you are missing out, period.
Yeah. And I know you can't
It's the
see like that
softest-
well behind us. You might think that the
softest stuff you'll ever
visibility's
feel.
bad, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like you can see.
And way less crowded too, I'll add that.
Yep. Oh, nice call.
And a pro tip about Rusutsu, buy your tickets online. So once you get on the bus and you know that you're en route, buy them digitally and they'll be 25% off. Keep your eye on the weather the night before. It might mean, hey, we just need to be out there early, or hey, look, they're gonna die down, so maybe we can go have some fun tonight and then sleep in and hit the slopes later in the afternoon, or do a night sesh at Hanazono. Here's your bus ride checklist that I promised you was coming up. One, you need to rewatch this video. It's gonna remind you of things that you've already forgotten. Check the weather and the wind conditions. Ask the staff about the grocery store run. Schedule it for your first afternoon there if you can. If not, schedule it for the next day. If you're arriving before 7 p.m., prioritize getting your lift pass and your gear. Book your return bus ticket. These need to be booked out like 3 days in advance. So just on your bus ride, get it done. Message your host 45 minutes before you get to your stop so that they know about when you're getting in, and then 10 minutes prior to arriving. And then always just know where you're heading the next morning and understand how you're gonna get there. It's that simple. It'll make your life so easy. Just do those things and you got 3 or 4 hours to do them anyway. Now take this little rush of energy that I've given you and go look up some lodging. Then just see what you have to do in order to get some money and reserve it. And let the universe unfold the rest of it, bro. And then also, when you do make the trip, tag me, please. Let me know that I helped you. At Paul Saves Paul on Instagram. I want to see your adventure. I want to know that this was of use to somebody. Please let me know if you have any questions about something that I didn't cover, if you want me to go into depth about something that I did. And make sure you check out the link in the description for the email sign-up list. I've got a beginner men's yoga program coming out. I'm also doing retreats, and there's boys trips to be scheduled. So don't miss out on some great experiences. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.